And like right there, okay, right there, you see that? The little dead silence there? I'm not saying in this movie there was dead silence, but what did you feel during that dead silence? What am I doing? Why am I watching this? I'm bored.
I enjoyed a lot of the characters, not all of them. I felt like a couple of them were underutilized. The plot of the film, we'll get into that first, is there's a radio station and there's several DJs that work there, and the army tries to come in and buy some ad space twice an hour, and they don't like it because the ads aren't good. And they're even cool with like running ads, but they don't want to do it their way.
Here's the thing, the DJs are not sellouts. They don't want to be sellouts. They don't want to just push anybody else's agenda. They like to be cool. They like to be the number one. They're the number one for a reason. They are cool.
Number one station in the number two market in the US of A, baby.
Los Angeles.
And I'm guessing number one's New York.
City of Angels, baby.
Honestly, the main plot of the film could have taken place in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
About 30, 40 minutes into this movie, we get sidetracked for about 30 or 40 minutes. And Act 2 of this movie isn't related in any way to the overall plot of the film.
Yeah, a lot of this movie, I feel like they just have stuffed in there for filler.
Yeah.
It just wasn't interesting.
It's like a bunch of side plots put together to be like FM.
It was just so boring.
Yeah, and that's where we get into the characters, and I can't remember the main character's name, I'm not going to lie.
It's Jeff Dugan.
Thank you.
Bro.
Jeff Dugan.
Okay, so Jeff Dugan is, of course, the main character throughout this whole movie. He's pretty cool. He's just a cool guy. He reminds me of Chuck Norris. Maybe that's why I like him a little bit. You know,
He's like Chuck Norris. You know.
No, yeah, he's like if Chuck Norris didn't work out and be a badass, but decided to be a DJ.
He's like if Chuck Norris had small teeth.
He's.
And then you have other DJs that work there, such as Mother. And Prince of Darkness. They just call him Prince. You've got what's the guy?
He was my favorite character.
But he didn't really do much.
I know, but when I saw him,
and that's one of the complaints I had, is that Cleavon Little didn't really have much to do. And if you don't know who Cleavon Little is, he's the main character in Blazing Saddles. So what was the guy with the mustache? The mustache guy who did like the
Swan.
This is Swan. Eric Swan.
Eric
Swan was probably my favorite character in the movie.
Really?
I'd have to agree with you, honestly,
dude.
man. He was that like artsy.
He was just a conniving little artsy.
He was, man, and
he was so funny.
He could always talk his way out of every situation.
Yeah.
Like he had a lady in his studio with her pants off because they were doing the freaky deaky, and someone walks in on him, and he gets out of it scot-free. Why? Because he's the Swan.
And there was that time where the girl was under the desk too. That's right.
He's having sex with this lady on his control panel, and it's getting broadcast, and everyone can hear it over the live radio. And someone busts, and you know they bust in or whatever. He has the door locked. They bust in, and she's just hiding under there. And he's like, "Yes, this was the sounds of whatever the hell."
I'm just sampling a new sound or something. It's
like, this is art. Get out of here.
It's art, baby.
Right.
And he gets away with it. Why? The Swan, baby.
Because he's the Swan. He's played by Martin Mull.
Martin Mull. What else was he in?
He was in 2.5 Men. He played the pharmacist in 2.5 Men.
Okay, you're losing me.
That's very popular. I'm sure some people know that show. There was another. Oh, there's one that you would know, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Killers was in the ring.
Arrested Development. He played Gene Parmesan.
Yeah, I didn't watch Arrested Development, so fuck off.
I did.
What was the name? Was it Ron or Rod?
The cowboy that they were trying to persuade him to switch to AM.
Well, he wasn't pulling in ratings, and he kept messing up when he was on the turntable.
Yep.
So they were the one that.
And AM's already messed up enough, so they were like, "We'll send you over there."
I don't get why he was complaining, right? Like the dude was firing him, and he was like, "Hey, I got this other job lined up for you," and the dude's like, "AM." Really?
And then he even offered to have him work part-time on FM.
On the weekends, you can still have a job, and he said no.
He said no.
He was being ungrateful.
You know what? I have something more important on this same subject, okay? Where the fuck did that go?
Nowhere.
That was
there
the
no
end.
point.
That was the end. He told them to go, and that was the end. That was the end of the character.
Well,
I mean, honestly, where did a lot of these plots go? Where did a lot of these
Exactly. That is my
So the
point.
dude, no, the cowboy left, right? And
Yes.
then they brought in I guess the love interest? I don't know. She wasn't in the movie very much. There wasn't much dialogue between the two characters. But she was the one that ended up with him at the end.
Prince of Darkness's storyline doesn't really go anywhere. He's just another character in the middle.
He just shows up.
There's another DJ mother, like we said earlier. Her plot is that she's not very happy in the radio station business. She wants to get out, but she keeps coming back. And then she says she's officially out, but she comes back again. Tiger, please.
Mother's gone. Mother's not gone. Mother's gone. Mother's not gone.
Thank you. Yeah.
There was the one part where they had the whole side plot of them stealing the concert. And let me tell you, this movie has a lot of footage and just stuff that's put in this movie that could really be cut.
Mm-hmm.
It
just wasn't significant.
during this concert that they were hijacking, Linda Ronstadt.
If you know who that is.
They practically show us a whole concert. Like on screen.
No, how do we take up 20 minutes of the viewer's time? Let's show
I'm gonna be
half
honest.
a concert.
I don't even know if it was 20 minutes, but felt like 20 minutes.
Really? Because there was no progression in the story, and there wasn't really anything super interesting going on in the first place.
Yeah, and this is how it was split up so awkwardly. It was split up. The first half of the concert was just there. It was like maybe 7 minutes. It felt like it was probably maybe like 3 or 4 minutes of just music and the concert, and then it cut to the guy in the limo, and every 15 seconds it would cut back to the concert,
and then show
back to the guy.
No. The way you just set it up made it seem like they would only show the concert for a little bit of time. They would go back for a whole song, show them play the whole song, and then cut back to where the real plot was. But I don't even know if that was the real plot.
That wasn't the real plot. It
was just another side plot.
The real plot is them not wanting to give up their radio station to the corporate.
Which only really happens in the first 20 to 30 minutes and the last 10 to 15 minutes. And the last 10 to 15 minutes aren't bad. It's just kind of like, and it's a movie of its time. It's a little cheesy, and that's okay. But this movie is just ridiculous. It's so cliched. At the end of the movie, they take over the radio station, and then at one point, the guy who's doing the ad sales and the regional manager of the radio station, I guess,
Lamar.
No,
it's not Lamar.
That's his last name. Is Lamar.
His last name is Lamar.
It was Headley.
No, that's Blazing Saddles.
But let's go ahead and talk about Lamar. Lamar is balding,
and he kind of looks like Kevin Spacey.
A little bit, yeah.
He looks a little bit like Kevin Spacey. I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar in the movie, his character was a pederast.
He was going after Mother. She's kind of in the opposite direction.
Maybe
he likes both ends of the spectrum, bud.
Just different extremes.
Yeah.
Like either way, they don't have teeth.
Oh my god! Yeah, at the end of the movie, we have the ad salesman and the guy who's, I guess, the manager for the region of the radio station, just below the owner. And they call, because they can't control the riot even after the police are called, so they call the owner. And the owner turns on the news immediately. It's the first thing on the freaking TV.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And he's like, nope, they're not going to take my radio station. I need to make more money.
I'm coming down there.
I'm coming down. He's not there for 20 seconds. When the guy, Jeff Dugan, makes a whole heartfelt speech, which isn't even that heartfelt.
It's really not.
It's like
he was like, hey guys, chill out a little bit. This is just a radio station.
It's just a radio station. If we can't do our music here, we'll go somewhere else.
And everyone's like,
yeah. What's a radio station without viewers and all the audience?
Viewers, listeners. And the owner steps out of his limo or Lincoln Town car or whatever thing he's in.
It's his limo.
They showed up in a police car. The sirens.
Whatever he's in, he steps out of the car and he hears Dugan's 45-second motivational bullshit.
Heartfelt little.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what? Lamar, you're fired. Regional manager, you're fired. I'm coming up.
And he, within 5 seconds, is all the way upstairs and out on the edge, on the ledge.
And they're just hugging it out, and
then end movie. That's it. I mean, this movie's a copper, dude.
I give it a copper. Only because I like the soundtrack. That's really the only reason it's even copper.
Copper!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, Golden Line of the Week goes to...
Take it easy. These things take time.
Hi, this is Eric Swan. If love hasn't found you yet, relax. These things take time. Jack, what do you mean, relax? These things take time.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. We've been the Real Diggers. Tune in next week. We're going to go ahead and have another video. Hopefully that movie is going to be better. I really hope it is. This is the end. Let's go.
Keep her going! Yeah, baby! Yeah, get it all!
Just drop a like and a subscribe, hit the bell icon, make sure that you get your notifications for our videos, and that way you'll be happy all the time, and not just some of the time, when you happen to come across us randomly on YouTube.